All right, today we are diving deep into a really powerful book, Michael Singer's The Untethered Soul. And let me tell you, this isn't just another self-help guide. Nope, this is a journey that takes us right to the very core of our own consciousness. So let me ask you something and be honest. Have you ever actually noticed that voice inside your head? You know the one I'm talking about, the one that's always talking. It narrates everything, it worries, it judges, it just never, ever shuts up. And look, if you're sitting there right now thinking, I have no idea what he's talking about, I don't have a voice in my head, well, guess what? That's it. That's the voice. It's so persistent, so constant, that most of the time we don't even realize it's there, chattering away.
So, to really wrap our heads around this, Michael Singer gives us this brilliant metaphor. He says, think of that voice not as you, but as your inner roommate.
And this roommate is something else. It's there 24/7, narrating your entire life. What's wild is that it'll argue both sides of an issue without even blinking. You know, I should totally get married. And then, no way, you're not ready for that. It literally doesn't care which side it's on. Its only goal is to keep the conversation going. I mean, seriously, if this inner roommate was a real person living with you, you'd think they were completely neurotic, right? Always pointing out what's wrong with you, making you relive every dumb mistake you've ever made, and constantly freaking out about the future. Now let me ask you this. Would you ever, in a million years, take life advice from someone like that? Probably not. Okay, this right here, this next part, is maybe the single biggest, most important takeaway from the entire book. This is a total game changer. And it's actually incredibly simple. The whole point is this. If you can hear the voice, then you can't possibly be the voice. Right? There's a difference. There's the thing that's speaking, and then there's you, the one who's hearing it, the one who's aware of it.
And that distinction is everything. The voice, that's the thinker, your crazy roommate, the nonstop narrator. But you're the witness, the observer, the one who's just listening. And truly getting that separation, that, right there, is your first real step toward freedom.
So if you're not that voice, then the big question becomes, who are you? And this, my friends, is where the real journey begins. You know, the great sage Ramana Maharshi said the most important question you can ever ask is just that. Who am I? Think about it. You're not your thoughts. They come and go. You're not your emotions. They change from one minute to the next. You're not even your body. It's completely different from when you were 5 years old. So who is that constant you that's been there through all of it? Well, the answer is, you are the one who sees. You are pure awareness itself. You are the seat of consciousness, that still point from which you witness everything else. Think of your consciousness as this huge, silent, empty space. And your entire life, all your thoughts, feelings, and experiences just unfolds within. Okay, so this idea of awareness might sound a little abstract, but it's not just some passive concept. It's actually connected to a very real, very powerful force, your inner energy. Singer talks about how we all have this unlimited wellspring of energy inside of us. It's not the kind of energy you get from food or sleep. It's different. It's what some people call chi, or shakti, or spirit. It's that amazing feeling you get when you're inspired or in love, or just totally enthusiastic about something. And he gives this perfect example to illustrate it. Picture this. You've just gone through a really bad breakup. You're completely drained. You can barely get off the couch for weeks. Then, the phone rings. It's your ex. They want to get back together. They say they made a huge mistake. What happens? Instantly, you are flooded with energy. Suddenly, you have enough juice to clean your entire house, run a marathon, and talk all night. You're electric. So the question is, where did all that energy come from? Right? You didn't just down 5 energy drinks. You didn't take a nap. So where did it come from? The answer is, it was always there. And this is such a key insight. You don't gain energy. You stop blocking it. The infinite flow of energy is always available to you, and the valve that controls that flow is your heart. It's either open or it's closed. Which brings us to the most practical, hands-on, and honestly life-changing part of the whole book. This simple but incredibly profound practice of just not closing. You know, it's a totally natural human instinct, right? When something hurts us or scares us, our first reaction is to clench up, to close down, to protect ourselves. But what Singer says is that this is actually a massive mistake. Because when we close, we think we're keeping the pain out,
But what we're really doing is trapping it inside.
There's actually a word for these little pockets of trapped energy from the yogic tradition. They're called Samskaras. A great way to think of them is like little inner thorns. They're old, unfinished bits of pain from the past. And when life comes along and just happens to poke one of those sore spots, our automatic reaction is to close up around it.
But here's the thing. Right there, in that exact moment when you get triggered, you have a choice. You do not have to fall back into that old, habitual pattern of shutting down.
And the two options couldn't be more different. If you close, you block that amazing flow of energy, you end up protecting the very wound that needs to heal, and you just stay stuck. But if you can find the courage to stay open, just for a moment, you let that energy flow through you, and it actually starts to release and heal that old pain. That is how you get free. And really, that's the whole practice. That's the path. The goal isn't to rearrange the entire world so that it never pushes your buttons. That's impossible. The goal is to heal yourself on the inside so that you're okay no matter what the world throws at you. The whole secret is just don't close.
So I'll just leave you with this to think about. What would you be willing to let go of? What old hurts, what old fears, what parts of your identity are you clinging to? What would you be willing to release to get the ultimate prize, which is to live a life where you never ever have to close again? It's a powerful question and definitely a journey worth taking.